Ever since his England debut in 1987, John Webb has known that his rugby career could be kicked into touch at any time by the demands of his job as a doctor. But thanks to his own self-discipline, the support of his family and the cooperation of his employers, that moment has come later rather than sooner, allowing John Webb to become the most successful fullback that England has ever had. May the 6th, 1993, England against Scotland at Twickenham. For John Webb, the last appearance at the scene of so many of his greatest triumphs. It was here that Webb set an England record of 24 points in one match in the World Cup game against Italy. Here that he set a Five Nations record of 22 against Ireland on the way to a season's best of 67. His 33 appearances in an England number 15 shirt are also a record. His 296 points for England, 50 better than his nearest rival. In the process, he's helped England to the second of their Grand Slams and to a place in the World Cup final, again at Twickenham. But life at the top of the rugby tree is hard, requiring enormous self-discipline. For today's international players, the appliance of science is a matter of routine. Life in the full glare of publicity, a matter of course.
There we go. Can I have a look at your legs? Do you mind? Can you straighten them out for me? That's it. Are you ticklish? No. You sure? Can you bend your leg right up?
But John Webb is a doctor, a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, whose latest career move has seen his appointment as orthopaedic registrar at the Princess Margaret Hospital in Swindon.
I've obviously got standards that I want to keep in medicine, and it's now beginning to get to the stage where I think I want to put more into it than I'm able to. And in just the same way that you want to do your own personal training for rugby, there's now, I've got to the stage where I want to do a lot more reading for my own benefit so that I feel happy that, I can advise people on how they should be treated. Things are getting tighter, and I'm beginning to get to the stage where I've had enough of trying to juggle the two, and I think Amanda's getting to that stage as well.
Big bye. Come back, Daddy. Let me give him a kiss. Oh, thank you. Bye. Take care.
Wife Amanda and daughters Sophie and Harriet are used to waving goodbye.
Have a good time. Come on, let's go say goodbye to Daddy.
The latest job requires a 90-mile round trip from their home in Bristol. All this on top of the ever-increasing demands of an international rugby career.
He doesn't come home that often, and now, being at Swindon, he's staying overnight there. So with rugby and training, he doesn't get home to see the children, except for on a Thursday, which is sometimes difficult.
Are they starting to miss him?
Harriet, the eldest, who's 2.5, certainly misses him, yeah. She usually screams when he goes in the morning. And always asking for him. She saw him on the television the other day and wanted me to open the door at the back of the television to get him out, but they are missing him more and more now.
John Webb has never lacked for professional advice. The whole of his very supportive family are doctors. That includes mother, father, 3 brothers, 3 sisters-in-law and 1 brother-in-law. And the whole of the watching clan at Twickenham remain awestruck by his sporting achievement.
Frankly, I think it's incredible how he has maintained not only a rapidly progressing career, but also playing international rugby. I think is phenomenal. I really don't understand how he's done it. The amount of sleep we get in junior doctor jobs is minimal, and it's enough to stay alive doing those jobs, let alone playing high-class international sport. It's quite phenomenal.
Like the rest of the family, John showed an early interest in sport, but there was never any suggestion that he was exceptional.
As a small boy, he kicked a round ball, and we were fairly impressed with the power he generated in his small legs. He didn't get onto rugger until he was at the RGS, and played well, but no foreshadowing of what has come on since.
But ambition was nurtured at the Bristol University playing fields at Coombe Dingle. There, the spindly first-year medical student instantly attracted attention.
He was obviously a talent, tremendously gifted ball player. He was one of those few people who has the ability and showed it very early. A lot of people have the ability and something stops them ever getting near. And as long as he was desiring success, there was always going to be a chance for him, I think.
But it wasn't until Reeves formed an advanced squad from all the sports at the university that Webb began to focus not only his talent, but also his ambition.
Well, I think that was the first time that I ever started analysing it. Up till then, as I say, it had been a sort of social thing, and I enjoyed it and didn't really think too much about it. And if I was playing well, I enjoyed it. If I didn't, it's, you know, one of those things. And that thing at the university was about the first time that I started really concentrating on what I wanted to do in rugby and whether I wanted to get any better at it.
But that meant moving down the road to Bristol, and he found the transition to the first-class game more difficult than it looked.
Hard, big jump. You got hit a lot harder. The game wasn't particularly faster in terms of movement. It was more of a set-piece game. But I think the first season at Bristol, I remember just getting from one match to the next, feeling absolutely knackered in between. It was just far more physical.
But once established at Bristol, Webb moved smoothly through the representative ranks. From the South West divisional team, he progressed to England B. A match-winning performance against the French at Bath, catapulting him into the senior squad for the World Cup in 1987. Coming on as a replacement after just 90 seconds, he immediately impressed. But England in those days was a poor outfit. In the quarter-final against Wales, they hit what was generally perceived to be rock bottom.
Looking back on the games I've played, that was one of the worst I've ever played in. In terms of expectation, you know, how we felt we should be playing, and we were favourites, and Wales had all these injury problems. Same old story, but they played again with far more commitment and will to win than we did, and it was a shambles. And even as a sort of young guy, it was about my fourth game for England, I recognised that it was terrible that should be happening for an international side to sort of fall apart in the way it did. I didn't feel that it was for me to say anything, and it wouldn't have been right for somebody so young, as it were, to try and say anything, but the memory lives on.